Assalamu alaikum. If you clicked on this video, you're Muslim and you want to make a lot of money online without compromising your deen. Allahumma barik, that is awesome. And I can tell you, alhamdulillah, over the past 4 years, I grew multiple businesses to over 6 figures while never compromising my deen. And I want good from my brother in Islam. So inshallah, today I'm showing you exactly what I did so you can do the same thing, inshallah. It's a banger. No one's giving you as much value. And you just see. Bismillah. So, Bismillah, how do you make a lot of halal money online? Well, we'll follow a simple 4-step formula. So the first step of this roadmap, inshallah, is correcting your beliefs. And that comes first by correcting your spiritual beliefs. And what that means is imagine you have an umbrella where Allah is the one here who owns everything. And whatever you want, like business, good life, getting married, is from Allah Azza wa Jal. You have a special connection with Allah Azza wa Jal, and I'm just here to make sure everything is right. And the first thing to understand that is have a good image of Allah Azza wa Jal. And why is that? That is because Allah Azza wa Jal says, I am to my servant like he thinks I am to him. And what that means is if you think Allah Azza wa Jal is the most merciful, the most generous, then he will be the most merciful, the most generous with you. And that also works in the opposite. If you think Allah is just going to give you bad stuff and everything for some reason, then unfortunately you'll kind of have this idea and you're kind of shaping the way he will be with you. Does that make sense? So make sure you have a good image of Allah Azza wa Jal. And just to prove you that, if you're watching this video, that means your eyes are working. Some guys are blind. Some guys can't even see. Allah Azza wa Jal saved you from that. He could have made you blind. He could have made you handicapped. You couldn't even walk. But yet He gave you this chance. So this is just the proof of if you can wake up, you can watch something, you can watch nature and your eyes work and you can see everything. This is just a blessing that is just enough to justify all of that. So you should have a good image of Allah Azza wa Jal by default, just because you're alive. That's the first thing. Either way, let's say even you're blind, you can't do anything, He still let you live so you can do good deeds, so you can have great things for the akhirah, inshallah. So that again is just justifiable enough for you to have a good intention with Allah Azza wa Jal. But most people already have this. So we're moving on to the next step, inshallah. And here, now you have a good image from Allah Azza wa Jal. You need now to prove Him that you also are good and He should have a good intention with you and a good image of you. And how you do this is firstly by understanding you should or you will never compromise your deen for anything. Going back to one of the points I made in another video, you know that Allah Azza wa Jal owns everything. This pen, this camera that's recording, everything that I have, all the businesses I have, Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who owns everything. So if now I decide with my marketing agency, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to work with haram clients because they pay me more. I'm going to use music because it makes content go viral more, whatever. Then I'm literally asking Allah Azza wa Jal to give me money while disobeying Him. How would that make sense? It's kind of trying to ask something from someone, but just pissing him off right before. Explain me how that makes sense. That doesn't. So that point should be your number one rule. And you should always have that in mind and always know that Allah Azza wa Jal will make things easier for you if you follow this step. Myself, I experienced it. I ran an influencer marketing agency. We work with influencers, helping them get partnerships. You probably know that loads of influencers use music. Loads of influencers use women, use stock images that are haram. Many things that can go on and on and on. And everyone has doubts and telling me, Ayyub, how can you do this without music? And I just said, look, we don't compromise for our deen. Allah Azza wa Jal will give us better. Turns out, alhamdulillah, He did. For me, for the students that I teach that to, for everyone. But we're not here to talk about that. I'm just here to prove you again, even with myself, alhamdulillah, personal experience, I can tell you, never compromising your deen with Allah Azza wa Jal will just grant you better things in life. It is just like a glitch. Allah Azza wa Jal is literally having an agreement with you, saying, look, if you don't compromise things for my sake, I'll give you better. He's telling you, I own everything, so by default, whatever you want, I have it already. And I'm telling you, He's telling you that to you. He's telling you, I'm the one who owns everything. So if you want this, it has to go through me, it has to get my approval. And if you want it, don't compromise things. And see, once you understand this, why would you even want to come close to something haram? Because you will either, your risk is already written. So you'll get it from Allah Azza wa Jal, halal or haram. Now just pick. Do you want to get sins as well as money? Or do you just want money and hasanat? Just pick. And if you just want money and hasanat, then never compromise your deen for anything, worldly or whatever. Literally never compromise your deen. Whether it's with the smallest thing, if you have a 0.001% interest loan, then don't take it. If you have someone who wants to use music in your business, don't do it. If you have a woman that wants to advertise whatever, don't do it. If you have a thing that has doubts, whether it's halal or not, then don't do it because your rizq is written. Allah Azza wa Jal already planned whatever is good for you, whatever is going to be set for you as money or as wealth or as this house, this car, whatever, everything is already written. Now you can either go and get it through a halal means or you can go and get it through haram. It's just up to you. Literally you choose. Do you want everything to be halal, have barakah? The same amount of money, literally the same amount of money. Do you want it halal or do you want it haram? You just pick. And the last point of your spiritual reset is that you need to have blind and full trust in Allah Azza wa Jal. full trust in him giving you what you want, and full trust in mainly his ability to do it. This is very, very important, because people say, I know Allah can give me that, I know. You need to be convinced. You need to know that whatever happens to you, if you follow what Allah Azza wa Jal tells you, you will be in good hands. And once you know that, and Allah Azza wa Jal tells you, for example, give charity, then you know you can give charity in whatever amounts. He tells you, when you give charity, it does not decrease your wealth. And this is from the Allah Azza wa Jal who owns everything. So he, by owning everything, literally whatever exists is in his possession, he tells you, if you give something for my sake, I will give it back to you even more. How would that not make you want to literally empty your bank account in charity? Like, it's just like an infinite money glitch. Let me draw you something. So here, let's say you got $10. That is your money that you currently have. You don't know what to do with $10, give it to charity. When you give it to charity, Allah Azza wa Jalla says what? Says, I will give it back to you even more. He will multiply whatever wealth you give. So by giving it to charity, you get good deeds. That's one outcome. And the other one is, I'm just putting 3x, doesn't have any number. Allah Azza wa Jalla can give you 1,000,000x or can give you 2x. It's up to you. Now, by giving charity, it directly gives you more money. So you're getting good deeds. So easier to get into paradise, inshallah. Easier to get everything better in life by getting good deeds. And also getting more money. So it's a non-loss equation here. And again, you're taking a bet with Allah Azza wa Jalla. So even if you're scared, what are you scared of? Like, Allah Azza wa Jalla doesn't have anyone he owes something to. He doesn't have any accounts to, like, he doesn't even have accountability to do. He does whatever he wants. So if he wants that when you give $10 in, you get $1 million out, then that's his choice, and no one can stop that. And literally no one can change any of that. If he decides that if you go, you take money, you give it to charity, you get $1 gazillion out, it's his choice. And if he decides so, it will happen one way or another. So again, this is literally a glitch I use in all my businesses. Whenever you feel stuck, whenever you want to make money, whenever you want to solve your problems, give charity. This will literally solve all of your monetary problems. Trust me. Because look, you're literally showing to Allah Azza wa Jal that you have full trust in Him. You can pray tahajjud, you can pray 5 times a day and tell Allah Azza wa Jal, I'm trusting you. But this is going another level. This is literally proving with actions. Let's say you have $100. You need to eat food that would cost $200. So you're already in debt to eat food this month. You can't pay the bills. You give that away because you know Allah Azza wa Jal will provide for you. You know He'll be the one who will take care of you. And you're just showing that with actions. Who would literally give away all their money to someone when they're already themselves in debt without having full trust? Like, this is just a physical proof again that you can have full trust in Allah Azza wa Jal by giving charity. All right, good. And I'll add a bonus. And this one, if your mother is still alive, may Allah bless her, may Allah grant her Jannat al-Firdaus, and also make her make dua. This is literally one of the most important things you can do to be successful. Make her make dua. Why? This is a bonus, making your mother making dua for you. And why is that? Because literally, the dua from your mom literally is like an arrow that doesn't miss its targets. Literally 100% accuracy. It cannot miss. So if your mom is happy with you, is satisfied, you're making her happy, if she makes dua for you, literally will go like a hot knife in butter. No chance of missing your shot. So if she makes dua for you to be successful in whatever, it would literally be like a crack in the matrix. But before getting your mom to make dua, you need to make her happy. So if your mom ain't happy with you, if you're not kissing her feet, doing everything she needs, well, you ain't understanding anything right. I'm telling you that. Having a YouTube channel don't care, having followers don't care, having money don't care, having employees don't care, having clients don't care. Your money won't help you. Your mom is the most important thing. If you don't get your mom happy, Allah Azza wa Jalla literally told you below the feet of your mother, these are feet, is Jannah. So you're explaining me here, you're trying to do your thing, you're trying to be angry with your mom when she's stressing about you, all of these, and you just want to miss out on this because you want this. Just explain how that makes sense. Because even the person who will enter Jannah the least, the lowest entrance of Jannah is already 10 times whatever the earth is and whatever it contains. So you telling me you want to compromise this just because you want that? How does that make sense? But that was a bit of a tangent. Now, summary of your spiritual reset. You need to have a good image of Allah Azza wa Jal. You need to make sure you understand that whatever is good for you will get to you, whatever is bad for you will be avoided from you. Now, if you're asking for a business and Allah Azza wa Jal knows a business is not good for you, then you will have it later. Then He'll save it to you for when you're older. Then maybe you'll have it on the day of judgment, some good deeds because He saved that dua for you, whatever. Know that He has good intentions with you, right? If He doesn't give you something, it's for your own good. The second step is that you should never compromise your deen. Whether with your business, whether you want to start something, whether you're already making money, whether your client is sketchy, whatever, never compromise your deen. This is super duper duper important because this will be so many bottlenecks you will have in the business. Sometimes you have at any level, when you're starting out, maybe it's too hard to start the halal way. I'll just use a bit of music to go more viral. Maybe this client is a bit sketchy, but I'm starting out. He's the only client I can work with. It's a bit of haram, but at least I'm making money. All these are tests. And again, if you mess these up, you'll just stay stuck. Literally, this is like Allah is giving you. Imagine this box, and here you have a random number that appears. Whenever you have a bottleneck, whenever you have a thing that you should be thinking about, you're like, is this halal? Should I do this? Should I not? Imagine you have a box just like in Mario Kart, and here you don't know the number that is inside. If you compromise your deen, then this box disappears, you don't get anything. If you don't, this box would be a multiplier of whatever you should have got with this, and this is how much you'll get. Literally like how it happened. I dumped a $1,000 contract because it was haram, I couldn't do it. A 5K contract next week. Literally all the time. This is literally, again, a crack in the matrix. Like not compromising your deen, you'll always be in a winning equation. You'll never lose. The only time you lose is when you compromise your deen, because then you got sins and you got money, but then you don't have barakah in the money, and just this whole mess, it's a whole loop of mess, and you don't want to get in there. So whenever you see like a test, like something that comes up that would be haram, you should actually be happy, because now you have a chance of getting a multiplier on whatever you should have got, because you won't compromise your deen. And now Allah Azza wa Jal is giving you, amplifying whatever you should have had. Right? You should have full trust in Allah Azza wa Jal, whether it be when you're working and you know that Allah Azza wa Jal will exhaust your dua, whether it's when giving charity, you should know that whatever you give, Allah Azza wa Jal will give it back, or when asking your mom to make dua, you should know this will always work, this will always come back to you. However, you need to make sure she is happy. Right? Cool. Now you finished your spiritual reset. You actually need to change things with your life. Now your mindset is good, you have good intentions with Allah Azza wa Jal, that's good, but now you need to actually start doing stuff in real life. Right? And let me show you what. And the part number 2 is you need to start taking accountability. What that means is you need to understand one thing. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to give you the things you want in life. No one is coming and asking you, what are your goals? What do you want? Okay, you want this Lambo? You want this car? No problem. Sit in your chair. I'll just go work, do everything, and I'll give it to you for free. Yeah, just because I like it. No one will do that. No one is coming. You've been waiting. Sorry to break it down. No one is coming. Right? You understand that no one is coming. And you should also understand that whatever happens to you, even if it is not your fault, it is your problem. And this is one of the most important things everyone forgets, is everything that happens to you is your problem. You're from a poor country, it's not your fault. You can't make money online, it's not your fault. Your parents are like this, it's not your fault. No one cares. I'm sorry to break it down. It is maybe not your fault, but it is your problem. There's not an equation that says fault equal problem, right? Fault equal problem. This does not exist. This is not true. Fault doesn't equal problem. If you have a problem, it doesn't have to be your fault. There's no arrow that goes back. This does not exist. You need to understand that. If something happens to you, it's your problem. You have to deal with it, whether it's your fault or not. And once you understand that, you actually start by default, whatever happens to you is your fault. And then you solve everything super easily. Because now you train yourself. Whatever comes, you need to be ready to face it and solve it. If it's your fault or not, it won't help you. If you know that you can't make money because it's your fault, or you can't because it's not your fault, doesn't matter. You still can't make money. So why are you even bothered by, is it my fault or not? You just should be bothered by, I can't make money. I can't get that. It's just my problem. Even if it's my fault or not, it's my problem. I'm sick. I got cancer. It's not my fault. It's my problem. I didn't choose to get cancer. No one chose for me to get cancer, but I have cancer. So I need to go and get a treatment. This is just how I solve the problem. Whether I get it or not, it's just not my fault. My fault doesn't matter. I need to solve it. It's my problem. And to follow that, once you understand that everything is your problem, even if it's not your fault, and once you understood that everything that happens to you is your problem, whether your fault or not, you need to stop being lazy. What that means is, look, let's say you have a chart of this is the problem, right? This is your current problem. Let's take, I can't make money online, because that's most of the use cases. You cannot make money online. This is your problem, from 0 to solved, right? You get it, you understood it. It is not your fault, it is your fault, it doesn't matter. It is your problem, you have to solve it. Cool. Now, here, there are time frames. Let's say this one may be 1 day, or like 10%. This one may be 3 months, or this one may be 2 years. You don't know. But the thing you know is that here, imagine you're entering a tunnel. This is a tunnel. You're here, right? You're gonna enter the tunnel. Here is solving the problem. So you know that once you enter the tunnel, there will be bottlenecks, there will be things that are stopping you, there will be problems, there will be whatever here happens, but you know at some point you will be out. You will have solved the problem. And most people just give up. They're just lazy. Whenever they have a problem, they see the problem. It's like, first of all, you need to identify you have a problem. But that's already done if you went through this. Now you have a problem, you know you need to fix it. And you need to take steps towards fixing it. Most people enter the tunnel. It's easy enough to do. They know they can't make money online. They would maybe start watching YouTube videos. Maybe they'd buy a course. Maybe they start messaging clients. And then they enter the tunnel. So before entering, it made sense. They're like, okay, I have a problem. I need to go through the tunnel. It will fix the problem. And then I'm out. The problem is solved. They understood that. It makes sense. Otherwise, they wouldn't start in the first place. So they start. They do whatever they can in the beginning. And then at some point, for some reason, they change their mind. And they start to go backwards. And they go out of the thing. And they restart the problem from zero. And they just think, well, maybe it's not a very big problem. Maybe I was just wrong. Maybe my approach was wrong. Maybe, and they just start finding all these excuses just because they gave up. Literally, most people give up because they're lazy, and the problem couldn't be solved within the time frame of their laziness. That's just the thing. By laziness, that means you're giving up when you're too tired, you're giving up when you don't see exactly the reward, you're giving up when you won't make money tomorrow, you're giving up when the solution is not as shiny enough. All these things, if you have that in your mind, it is just something you need to change, because you cannot change how life works. You cannot change the way problems are solved. You cannot change that. The only thing you can change is you and how you behave when they happen. So let's say you want to make money online. You see that problem. You don't know how long it will take. You just know there will be an exit at some point. Then why are you even bothered in between? You should be bothered about one thing and one thing only. Is just going forward. That's the only thing you should be bothered about. Because if you think about other things that maybe this is wrong, maybe this is whatever, this would be negative energy pulling you back. And you know at some point you will see the light. So you know if you keep going forward, you will see the light. That's just how things work. It is not an infinite problem. There's an end. That means if you keep going forward every day, at some point you'll have reached the end. It is just how things work. So now, why do you allow negative thoughts, negative energy, negative steps, negative actions to pull you backwards? Because you know, just like you know that if you keep pushing forward, you'll finish and solve the problem, you also know that if you keep going backwards, you'll just dig yourself deeper into the problem. You know, you'll just put yourself in a bigger mess, or you'll just delay the mess to some later moment when it will be even harder to solve. So whenever you're trying to do something, understand you're entering a tunnel, the tunnel is long, but there is an exit, right? There is an exit here. And where you are, you don't know when is it, you don't know either. Those are just things you cannot base yourself on. The only thing you should keep in mind is if I keep going forward, at some point it will work. Maybe that's 2 weeks, maybe that's 3 months, maybe that's 12 months, maybe that's 5 years. You don't know, you just know there's an exit. And most people have this huge misconception, and I'm about to break the whiteboard because this pisses me off all the time, is that everyone thinks this is too long, oh no, I can't do it. The guys literally went to college for 4 years, and that didn't seem too long because that's a degree, that's security, that's whatever. Now, to start a business and just take 6 months, and he won't be making 10K a month, maybe he will be making 5K a month. Oh, no, that doesn't make sense. No, I can't do that. Whoa, 6 whole months not making anything. You may be gonna live 50, 60 years. What's 6 months? It's like 1%. What's 1% to have like a 5 times better life? Isn't that a good ratio? So you sacrificing 1% of your life for something 5 times better wouldn't make sense? Again, explain me how that makes sense. That doesn't. Stopping overthinking everything, right? You need to stop overthinking. Stopping overthinking, right? You don't care about my writing. I'm not even overthinking my writing. This may be 10K, 20K, 100K views. I could not care less about my writing because I'm not overthinking everything. I could have said, oh, maybe the writing is too big and this, and they need to know the paper, and I waste time, and it doesn't matter. You see how I'm just proving you should stop overthinking. The paper just broke. I just pull it back without even letting you know, and I just continue because I'm not overthinking anything. And that's what everyone does. Everyone starts overthinking. They see this business. Let's say even the business that I teach. And small parenthesis here, I teach Muslims how to start an influencer marketing agency. The link is in the description if you want to apply for mentorship. I teach you everything from A to Z. It's a paid program. You'll make a boatload of money. And every student that fails, I see them do that. They just join the program and they're like, okay, so I need a website, and then I need Instagram, and then I need this, and then I need that, and what happens if he doesn't reply, and then what happens, and they just fire away so many questions, so many doubts that they're not even there yet. The brother doesn't even have an agency, doesn't even understand the business model properly, and already starts to put so many bottlenecks. And again, same example as the tunnel. You're here, your tunnel is here, and actually what I said before is that you can change the way this tunnel would be inside. You cannot change the length. You can change how it will be inside. You can change if it will be long, or having many obstacles, or being a mess, or being even sometimes impossible because of your beliefs. You can change that. You can have another guy that will have a completely clean, simple go-through funnel. And this guy doesn't overthink everything. This guy, whenever he sees a problem, he's like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out when it's time. I'll figure it out. I'll just go and I'll find a solution. And this guy gets everything so easy. And this guy gets everything impossible. Just like they say, when you have a wrong mindset, when you're thinking about stuff, you just find problems. When you have a good mindset, when you think about stuff, you just find solutions. And it's just about how you see things. So if I just started saying influencer marketing and you're already going left, right, and being like, oh, but how does that work? What is this? And what is that? And what happens to that? And just you just fire so many questions, you can know by default you have a problem with overthinking, and you need to stop that. And you need to answer every possible question, every possible doubt by I will figure it out. That's it. That's the only thing that should be coming to your mind whenever you have a question. I saw myself. How do I do YouTube? How do I do that? How will I put the CTA? Did I mess up the sentence? Did I do that? And I know. No, none of that. I just say, look, I'm doing this video, whatever. My editor will figure it out. I don't know. Maybe I messed up the text. Maybe I messed up the intro. You know better than me because this is already posted on YouTube. I don't know how that will look. I don't really care because I will figure it out later on. You see just how I'm proving you. Not overthinking makes everything else simpler. If now I don't know if the intro was good, I'll have to pause, go back, check the intro. Was it good? No, maybe. And then change the camera, change this. Waste 2 hours. Don't post any video in the end because I was overthinking everything. And then khalas, no one's benefiting from it. Whereas if I'm just like, look, I'll figure something out later. Worst case, I'll have to redo it. That's just one chance of me having to redo everything. Most of the times, I can just go with it and figure it out. And that's no problem, and I saved so much time, right? So you need to stop overthinking. This is the last step of you taking accountability, is that you stop overthinking everything. You just say, I'll figure it out, because you're capable of figuring things out. You need to answer every question by, I will figure it out. Einstein was the best scientist on earth. He had 2 arms, 2 legs, a normal body, just like you. If you're a guy who finds excuses and is gonna start saying, oh, but he had this IQ and he has that, you're already overthinking, not taking accountability for yourself, and you're going back to the second point that was wrong. You're portraying your own problems on external excuses. You're saying, this happened to me, so it's not my fault, so I cannot figure it out. Why is that? There's none of that that's true. You're lazy, so you can't figure anything out, and that's why you have problems. If you assume I have problems, I'm capable of fixing them, then everything else becomes easier, and it just becomes of, how do I solve that? How do I solve this? And then you can solve pretty much everything. If you stop saying, oh, but this is because of that, and that is because of this, and this, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was the best human on earth. Literally the best creation ever made. And he had 2 arms, 2 legs, a normal body, just like you. I'm not saying you can be the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I'm just saying he was a normal human just like you, and he was the best human on earth. He was maybe gifted with a few things, maybe things were simpler with him, which is not the case, by the way. He literally has the worst life in the world. But anyway, and you can just see, you can figure things out. He had the worst life in the world, yet became the best person in the world. So you're gonna tell me, because you're from India, Pakistan, you don't have a lot of money, because your parents are like this, because you didn't go to uni, because you're from the US and there's too much fitna, then problem and you can't figure it out. Why? None of that. Again, he could have said, oh no, but I can't be a prophet because I didn't have a mom, and my father died, and my daughter died, and I had all these problems, and I was ejected from my country, and everyone was trying to kill me. No, none of that. He just said, look, I have a mission, I have that to do, I'll do it, I'll figure it out. So now that you have full trust in Allah Azza wa Jal, you start taking accountability for yourself, you do everything we mentioned before. I'm actually going to give you special sauce when it comes to how to actually get money in your bank. I'm literally going to talk to you about my experience, what I did, and what you can do inshallah. And I'm not here to sell you my course. So step number 3 is understanding reality. And to start, you need to kill your self-beliefs. Kill self-limiting beliefs, such as making money is hard, you can't make halal money, I'm too young, and on and on and on and on. All these are limiting beliefs. It is beliefs that are not true, that are limiting you from getting whatever you want. It is maybe your body that wants to keep you comfortable, keep you in a comfortable place by saying, no, stay in your comfort zone, I don't want to go there, it's scary, and then it is stopping you from getting the actual things that you want. And to kill your limiting beliefs, I'm actually going to literally explain you what the reality of business is. So making money is not hard. Making money is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. I am, for example, posting a video. This is not hard to post a video. I'm writing on a whiteboard like a 5-year-old. This is, again, not hard to do. And I'm selling a course. This is not hard to do. I'm selling a mentorship. This is not hard to do. All of these are not hard to do. They are simple. They are not easy to do. Not everyone can come and just create a whiteboard and talk like me and get a mentorship. Not everyone can do this because it is not easy, but it is simple. Even with my marketing agency, for example, I am selling a simple service to simple people. I help influencers get more brand deals, and I help brands spend their marketing budget. You could understand with just 2 sentences how my business works. So it is not hard. It is simple, but it is not easy. And that's the shift. It is simple, not easy. And you guys believe that everything is easy. Everything, if not easy, then impossible. That's what you have in your mind. That's the same thing as the tunnel, everything I explained to you before. Things may take a long time, but it is simple. It is a straight path that if you take, you will get X, Y, Z. If you take X step, you'll get Y result. That is just how things work in business, and things are simple. They're not easy, all right? You need to sell something that is useful to people, something that benefits people, something that helps other people make money. This can be simple. It does not have to be complex, does not have to be hard. It just has to be good and helping people. That's it. For this one, you can't make halal money. I'll just cross it because this is just completely false. You don't have to work in an Islamic business for your income to be halal. I don't know why most people have a misconception when it comes to this. They think if the business is not about Islam, then the money cannot be haram. And this is completely wrong. Whether you're a guy working in construction, whether you're making videos, whether you're a copywriter, video editor, you're selling a course, you're selling marketing services, as long as all of that does not involve haram, then the income is halal. I'm not here trying to give you a fatwa, by the way. I'm not a sheikh, none of that. I'm just giving you simple terms that just make sense. If what you're dealing is halal, if who you're dealing with is halal, if what happens once you finish everything is halal, why would your income be haram? This is just because so many guys have, again, this misconception that if your business is not related to Islam, if your business is not about deen, then it's not halal. And this is just wrong. And this is, again, maybe stopping you from making the amounts that you want, because you're just narrowing down your options too much to a specific thing. If I only work with Muslim marketing agencies, then or Muslim influencers, my niche would be too small. I can't really have room to go bigger. And what I did was very simple. Tech, okay, it's halal. As long as the guy doesn't use music, doesn't promote any haram, 18 plus whatever madness, then should it be too hard, right? Fitness, maybe the guy show the awra, maybe there's women, okay, let's avoid that. And then just like this, you just filter, okay, is this one haram? Is this thing I'm about to do haram? No, then why do you even consider the possibility of the income being haram? Again, I'm focusing so much on this because most people think, again, they have to work in something Islamic in order for them to make money. And this is just wrong. I hired copywriters who were 17. I hired editors who were 17 as well. You're not too young. You're just not good enough. If you're fire at what you do, then age is not a matter of a problem. It may for some specific businesses, if you have to give speeches, if you have to be a closer and you need authority, then maybe your age may come into place. But for most people, they're just, again, finding excuses. Oh, I'm too young, so not my fault, so it's still your problem, whether your fault or not. Again, coming back to the first thing I said. But anyway, and actually now, let me give you a good businesses mindset, good businesses you can do checklist. So the first thing you need to understand is that problem solving equals money. Problem solving equals money. And here, there's a huge misconception people have, is that this problem should be hard, which means more money. And this is completely false. This is absolutely false. I never saw anything more false than that. Your problem doesn't need to be more complex so it makes more money. Otherwise, people who would be making the most money would be teachers in school who are teaching 2 years olds how to walk and how to talk, because the guy can't even, he's saying goo goo gaga, you're trying to make him speak. How complex is that? It's impossible. They're making like 2 grand a month, 3 grand a month maximum. So that would be just the proof that why problem solving doesn't have to be hard for you to make money. However, guys are literally teaching courses on how to run Facebook ads and making $1 million a month. Do you really think it's harder to teach a 2-year-old how to speak than how to run Facebook ads for a normal guy or for a business? And let's even go deeper. You may say, yeah, but teacher can be easy, whatever. Surgeon make on average, let's just say 8 to 10K per month. Most of you may say, this is a huge amount of money, this is whatever. The guy went to school for 8 years or 15 years, depending on the specialty he done. The guy is literally opening people's brain and fixing things inside, opening their body and literally taking your leg, putting it in your stomach to make another whatever thing working. I don't know how surgeons work, but anyway, this is a huge mess. This is one of the hardest jobs in the world. Yet, this is what they make. Do you really think there's no one in the world making more money than that? Do you really think there's no one in the world having an easier job than that, making more money than that? So that is just your proof. Things don't have to be hard in order to make more money. Things have to be related to people making money for you to charge a lot of money. That is just how things work. My editor, I pay him a bunch of money, Allahumma barik, because he makes my video go viral. He makes me get a lot of views, so then I can sell a lot of coaching. So then I make more money, and then everyone is happy. That is just why I spend that money. I don't spend that money because I like the edits. I do like the edits, but I don't spend my money because I like good videos. None of that. My reasoning is how much do I put in, how much do I get out? And that's how every business thinks. And now your service, your problem should be related to more money. You need to find a way to, when you see someone, when you see a business, when you see whatever, you need to find a way to make them more money and ask yourself, how much money can these guys make? And to prove that, let me just draw something for you quickly. Let's imagine there is a rich sheikh from the Emirates. He has his little sheikh thing, right, from the Emirates, and he has a huge boat, right? He has a huge boat. That is a huge boat, and that is an oil boat, right? He makes 100 billion a year, right? Little money for them, right? Let's say he even makes 100 billion a month, because Saudi is crazy. Anyway, this brother now has a small issue that his boat can't cross whatever river. There's a river here with water, and now, I don't know, there's a bridge here that needs to be removed, right? This is impossible for him to cross. He's losing $100 billion a month, so he can't cross that. You just come in, you break that bridge, you get rid of that. Now the boat can pass easily. Boom, the guy is now making $100 billion a month. Do you really think the guy cares about how much you charge to fix that? If you charge 10 grand, 100 grand, $1 million, $10 million, $1 billion to make him $1 billion a month, he does not care. He's not going to ask which hammer are you going to use to break the bridge. He's not going to ask how are you going to break it. So is it from the back, from the front? He doesn't care about any of that. He's like, all right, I'm losing $100 billion a month because I can't get my all across that. How do I solve this? Well, we have this guy, Abdul Aziz, who is an expert about breaking bridges and whatever. Okay, cool. So this guy can solve my problem about making $100 million a month. He can stop my loss of $100 billion a month. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. So whatever this guy charges me that is below $100 billion a month is worth it, because now I'm losing $100 billion a month. And that equation can be reversed. If you have a business that wants to make more money, they're still losing money. They have what we call ignorance debt. Let me just draw another thing. Let's say you make 60K per year and you want to make 200K per year. So here in the gap, there is 140K per year. And that here is what we call your ignorance debt or your problems debt, because you are unable to make that money every year. So every year you're paying that debt because you cannot make money, because you cannot get that thing. Same thing for the oil sheikh. He can make $100 billion a month because of the bridge. If you break that bridge, you're paying off that impossibility or that problems debt for him, and that is worth $100 billion a month. Whatever you charge that is below this, while staying reasonable in the service you're providing, don't want to break a bridge for a gazillion dollars, otherwise another one will just do it with competition. But that's besides the point. It is just showing you that you can charge madness amounts of money without solving complex problems. You just need to be at the right place at the right time. And that doesn't mean you need to wait until you find the right place and the right time. That just means you need to work and find the right place and find the right time. That's the work you have to do. Now, we don't all have a sheikh that needs to get $100 billion a month bridge broken, right? This is not the case for everyone, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd all be rich. But here, what you can have is B2B services. So the transition may be a bit too hard for you here. Let me explain a few things. If you want to make money online, look no further, write this down. You need to sell a service. Service-based business are literally the answer to everyone who's watching this video, everyone's dream. You want to make hijrah, you need to make money online, service will solve that. You want to make a lot of money, you want to quit your job, service will solve that. You're a beginner, you don't know anything about business, you don't know how to starting a service-based business will answer that for you. Literally everything is answered. And I'm not trying to just say that to push you my course. Genuinely, I see guys going the dropshipping route, growing, even if it's halal, let's even say you buy the stocks, you make everything halal. This is a mess to run. Chargebacks, refund, physical things, ads, the guy received the product, the box is broken, just a whole mess. And this is just why you stay away from physical things, get everything online. And literally, I do believe most of the money that could be made from people who start is into services. I started with service, everyone I know started with the service, whether it is an agency, whether yourself, an agent or freelancing, whatever, you need to start selling a service online. And the service you can sell that makes you the most money is a B2B service. Because think about it, you want to be selling a service to people who have the most money. And who has the most money? Businesses. The number one expense from businesses is towards other businesses because they want to grow. My business, my coaching program, my marketing agency, our biggest expenses are other businesses. My editor charges me a lot of money. This is a service-based business because he helps me make more money. You see how everything is starting to come into pieces? He's helping a business, mine, make more money. Whether he edits my video in a day and takes a lot of money in one day, or he does that in a week, that's his problem. He has to figure it out. However he does it, as long as it's good, I don't really care. But the thing he's doing is he's helping a business make more money, so it justifies him charging a lot of money. We're good? And here, let me give you a quick checklist that you can go through before picking your service. You want something that is scalable, because if your goal is to make a lot of money, you have to get something that is scalable. You cannot spend your whole day in front of the computer, because then you're just getting an online job. Maybe when you're starting out, it is better to actually get an online job and something that is very time consuming, so you can educate yourself and then start a business, but that's besides the point. Here, you need to find something that is scalable. Scalable in two ways, in terms of either you can charge a lot or you can delegate it and do big volume. Either or both. Or actually, if you can find both, this is chef sauce. Because here, if you can charge a lot of money and you can just get a few clients, you can make a lot of money, that's already good. Or if you can delegate what you're doing, such as video editing, you can start a video editing agency, for example, and you delegate everything you do. It's my case, for example, with my influencer marketing agency, we delegate all the work to influencers. They're the one recording the videos, doing the whole planning, the whole thing. We're just the guys getting the deals and getting our commissions. That's just what we do. So I can have something where I can charge a lot, I can charge a big commission because I'm very good at marketing, alhamdulillah, and I can also delegate it so I can get other guys to do the work for me so I can do even bigger volume. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean the only business you can start is an influencer marketing agency. By the way, link in the description if you want to apply to mentorship. Anyway, doesn't mean you can only start an influencer marketing agency. I'm just giving you an example because that's my case. You can start another service-based business where it is very valuable to businesses so they can make a lot of money, and you can delegate it. So at some point you can either remove yourself from the business and actually enjoy having a business, or you can do bigger volume so you can make even more money. You can actually do both. You can remove yourself and do bigger volume if you hire the right people. But this is way later down the line. And don't make the mistake of overthinking everything. Just like I said, you think about it and you'll figure it out when it's time. Don't even start asking, how do I hire people, when you didn't even get your first client. You don't even know if you'll have to hire people. Anyway, you need to have something that is scalable. You also need to have something that is actually, and this one is very, very important, valuable. Because loads of people, I don't understand why, they just spin a wheel and there are loads of businesses there, and when one pops up, they say, oh, let me do this. Let me just do copywriting for Instagram captions, whatever, just random things. And I'm not saying copywriting for Instagram captions is not valuable. What I'm saying is you need to understand and ask yourself, is the thing I'm doing actually valuable? I see so many guys struggling to sell a course because their course is useless. And in the first place, they didn't even ask, is my thing actually valuable? Does it actually help people? Okay, what does it help them do? Is it tied to them making more money? Is it tied to a good enough upside so I can charge a lot of money? Is it the case? No, then I need to change the thing I'm doing. Simple as that. If you're selling a service that is either not good or useless for the people, you may be the best painter in the world, but unfortunately, businesses don't really care if the wall is white, black, green, if there's a good design on it or not. Maybe they care to an extent, not enough to justify you charging a lot of money for that. And then you just need to ask yourself, okay, so what is the upside of my service tied to? And just like I explained in the other video, when you're thinking back to front, let's say this is your client and this is the ladder that they need to go through to make money. So here they're making money. What happens right before is sales. What happens right before is marketing. What happens right before is maybe product, and so on and so forth. And the further you're going down, the lower the chances of you charging a lot of money, because it is not directly tied to them making a lot of money. Does that make sense? So if here you're doing market, if you're selling coffee to the boss or the biggest entrepreneur, well, good, that may be good to you, but then when the guy drinks the coffee, he needs to build a good product, market it well, sell it well, and then he's making money. So you cannot say, if you drink my coffee, you will make a lot of money, because then there are huge amount of ladders before him making money that will appear, and this would just not make sense in his eyes. Whereas, if you're helping him make more sales, market in a better way, build a better product, and all the aspects that are here right before he makes money, this can help you out. This can allow you to charge a lot of money. If my sales guys come to me and find a way to close twice more deals, then this will literally double the money I make. So as long as he charges me double what I used to pay him or less, this is a winning equation for me. It is directly linked to me making money, so this is helpful. If my marketing guy, let's say my editor, helps me make better videos, and that will 20x the videos that I make. However, because there is sales before, he cannot charge me 20 times what he was making. Let's say maybe he charges me 1.5 to 3 times what he was charging, because then I have to go through the sales. Maybe I will get a better marketing, but I'll have to do a bigger sale, maybe I'll have to remove more people because they would be less qualified because we reach a bigger audience. But these are details. I'm just explaining you the further you go in the ladder, it is not as easy as charging a lot of money. Does that make sense? So here, let's say you're improving the product. It's good. It will help people. It doesn't mean you will not make money. It just will affect how much money you can make. Because here, when you build a better product, he has to market it and then he has to make more sales. So if any of these flop, you may have the best products, but the guy may end up making less money. So he will not be able, unfortunately, to pay you a lot of money because even if you did the best job, you were just in the wrong things. Now, my point here is not to tell you either do sales or marketing. This is not the point. What I'm showing you is the more you can charge is the closer to making them money, right? And this is, I would say until here, is close enough. When you start to get there, it is becoming a bit too hard. And these are huge numbers, by the way. So if you're just trying to make 5 to 10K a month, you can just stay around here. This would be more than enough. However, the closer you are to here, the easier it would be. However, number 2, this is harder to do. And here there's more competition because people kind of understand now that if you're close to them making money, you will help them make a lot of money. You will charge a lot of money. So a lot of people are just throwing themselves there and now it's becoming harder. I'm now not trying to confuse you and you say, but Ayub this and now that and now this. What I'm saying is you need to understand there's a scale from zero utility to them making money to 100% utility to them making more money. And the closer you are to this, the more money you can charge. If you're between this and that, you need to either change your service or find a way to use your service and to make it go closer there. Maybe find a way to make the product even more important than the marketing. For some businesses, it is. For a coaching business, for example, the product is more important than the marketing because it's very easy to fix the marketing. I can just speak in a better way, use good angles, use good editing, and then the marketing will be on point. However, if my students don't get any results, I don't make any money. So this would be more important than this one. So actually a guy here will make more money than a guy who's here. Does that make sense? Good, we move on. So now, my last point, that is literally the most important one of all of them, because if you do all of these and you don't do this one, nothing else will work. And that is having resilience. And what that means, hang on a minute, having resilience. My writing is trash, I don't really care. You're just here to get value and that's what you're getting. So having resilience means you need to keep pushing through, just like when you enter the funnel, you don't know where the exit will be, when it will be, just know there's an exit and you just need to keep pushing through. Why is that? And having resilience is one of the most important things you need to do in your entrepreneurship journey. Let's forget the tunnel guy for a minute and let me now explain you how someone who digs a miner can show you that example. Maybe you have a small gem here, that is a small gem, and that is a huge gem, right? That is a huge gem. And now this is the ground, and you have obviously dirt over there, dirt, this is dirt. You have a lot of dirt, blah, blah, blah. And now you have one guy here who's just about to dig with his pickaxe, and you have another one here who's about to dig. And why Ayub is drawing this is because you have this guy about to dig and get a small gem, right? And he may start and get a gem after 2 weeks. And this guy was about to get a huge gem, but maybe about 6 months deep, right? So this is 6 months deep, this is 2 weeks deep. So now, this guy, if he starts digging, and after 2 weeks, he sees this guy having a gem, and he's like, yeehaw, I have a gem, yoo-hoo. And here, he's super happy to have a gem. He got a small gem. This guy had the potential of getting a huge gem, but just said, damn, I didn't get something in 2 weeks. I think something's wrong. I think this guy knows better than me. So now this guy gets out, got his gem. This guy comes in and tries to dig. And now there's nothing. And he keeps digging and he keeps digging more and more. There's nothing, more and more. And there's literally nothing. Like there's dirt here, dirt there. And now there's nothing. The guy even digs deeper. And because he doesn't have any resilience, maybe after 3 months, maybe there was still another gem, maybe 9 months down the line, right? Maybe let's say, it was not in vain. But here, he gave up again 3 months because there's maybe another guy here who dug something huge within, again, maybe 3 months, had a gem, dirt here, dirt here. Maybe the guy dug 3 months, another one, and got whatever he needed. So you see, by not having clear focus and resilience, you may just lose a huge gem because you're going left, right. Oh, this guy may be better. Oh, but I think my thing doesn't work. And let me give you the actual metrics. Making money online takes time. If you are complete ground zero and you're starting from literally zero, no past experience, nothing, usually it takes about 4 to 6 months to see your first results. I'm sorry to tell you that, it is just how things work. If you have a bit more experience, if you feel like you're a bit sharper, if you've already been consuming content about making money online, maybe that will take 2 to 4 months to actually start making money. I'm not saying 5K a month, I'm not saying 10K a month and you make hijrah next week. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you start to actually understand everything I explained in that video. That starts to make sense to you. You can actually start to go find clients, get your first paying clients, do valuable services, start to understand how everything works, and then you can scale up. It is a very complex graph. So here is the graph of you making money online. And here you start at zero for a while. And then maybe after 6 months, you start seeing that. And that may be just making, I don't know, $200 a month, right? $200 a month. And you're making $200 a month here. And you may think, bro, I spent 6 months making $200 a month to make $200 a month. Like I could have just went to college, I could have, and then get self-doubt coming in, everything becomes messed up. But then you don't see that after maybe 8 months, you start making $2,000 a month. And after 12, you start making $5,000 a month. And after maybe, let's say 16, you start making 10K a month. And so on and so forth. And it's absolutely exponential. Literally, I can guarantee that this is an absolute exponential curve. But the thing is, you need, when you have an exponential curve, to have a time when you're not making anything, when it's complete flat zero, and you need to keep going. If you just stop here, then the next time you're going to try, you'll start again from here, and you'll go again from here to here. And then you give up again, and you'll go from here to here again. And you just maybe sometimes, let's say it would have taken 12 months straight to go to 10K a month, and let's say you have speed here and momentum to go and get it, just like a skateboard. Imagine there's a guy here skateboarding and he needs speed in order to achieve that. Maybe this speed means 12 months straight. And here, if you're going and you're doing 3 months and then you give up, you lose all the momentum and you start again. 3 months, 0, back again, back again. You may end up doing 16 months by doing 2 months in, 2 months out, 2 months in, 2 months out, and you have 0 momentum. Maybe after some luck, because you don't forget everything absolutely in 2 months, maybe you'll be here after 16 months, whereas you could have been here directly if you had resilience. So this is just the explanation on why resilience is so important. When you don't know what you're doing, when you know there's an exit, but you don't know when, don't know any of that, you should just keep going forward. Because just like I said, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You just don't know how long the tunnel is. You don't know how long it will take. Unfortunately, this is not something you can know, but it is something that would be guaranteed after a long period of time enough. There is no one, and picture that, there is no one who spends a year, 2 years, working every day, getting feedback on what he's doing, and that doesn't get results. This does not exist. I've been in business for more than 4 years, 5 years, alhamdulillah. I never saw any of that happen. I always saw guys giving up, and I saw them didn't get results. I can guarantee that. I saw guys who were lazy, had huge potential, way more than me, could have made banks, but were just completely lazy, no resilience, gave up too early, and they ended up with nothing. I can tell you that. And my last point here is that you need to relax a little bit. You need to breathe a little bit. This does not mean you can be lazy or you can just work a few hours and that will be it. This is not my point. And when I say take it easy, you need to understand one last thing, is that money is just a tool. There's a saying in France that says, "Fuis-moi, je te suis, suis-moi, je te fuis." That just translates to, chase me, I'll run away, ignore me, I'll run after you. And basically by ignoring it, it's just like with women, just like with cats. If you have a cat and you ignore it, he'll come to you. If you try to run away, try to pet him, he'll just run away. Same thing with money. It does not mean you have to ignore any type of work you can do and not do anything, and somehow your PayPal account will spawn with $1 million. That's not what it means. What that means is if you stop worshiping money, if you stop acting like it's the most important thing in the world, and without it, you can't get anything, which is maybe the case, but you just need to control yourself and be like, all right, I know money is important, but I'm not worshiping it. I'm not worshiping money. It's good, it will help me do a lot of good things, but I'm not worshiping it. I'm not day in, day out, just about money, money, scratching my veins, money, where can I get money? Because then you become so needy, so desperate that you repulse money. Any amount of money that could come to you, you just repulse it. Whereas if you ignore it, it's just like, money, cool. I could buy good things, but that's it. So you watch the video till the end, Allahumma barik, and you're still here, so you maybe want more value. Alhamdulillah, that's what I got for you. If you want to make 5K plus a month and want my personal help, teaching you how I've done it, the business I've done, everything about influencer marketing, you can apply for my mentorship below. Or if you don't have any money to invest and you have smaller goals than this one, you can join the Halal network. It's free.